Hey guys, I'm hopefully sounding a little bit better. I'm still not 100% back to myself, but my cold has kind of chilled out a little bit. I have to say, it's not the most exciting of weeks because I wore a lot of very comforting things, and half of that is what you're going to see in my lavender collection videos. But I will get on with it. I did actually smell a couple of things in a store on Friday evening, so I've got a couple of things that I like. I didn't test them on my skin, but I gave them a good sniff, so I'll talk about those as well. But let's just get through what I actually wore this week. So I was off sick. I went in to work on Monday, and I was just in no state, so I had to come home at, at midday. So I did half a day on Monday, and then I had to have a couple of sick days, and then I was back to work on Thursday. So because I was also ill at the weekend, I just haven't really gone too far out of my extreme comfort zone. But on Friday, when I was out, oh my God, I've been thinking about my top 20 for life, my new top 20 for life, and that has definitely got some repeat offenders in there, but some of them I have changed out. And this is in there now. This is Mediterranean from Elizabeth Arden. Absolutely obsessed with Mediterranean. I love this perfume. Every time I wear it, I just think, oh my God, this is so beautiful. It was so interesting. I was reading someone's review of this on Fragrantica, and they said they thought it lent a bit masculine. And I was like, oh wow, it's so fascinating that someone finds this masculine, because this is one of my kind of most ladylike feminine perfumes to my nose. Like, I find it slightly powdery, slightly aquatic, a bit fruity, very beautifully like purple, soft purple florals. Yeah, so I was really surprised to read that review, but you know, different noses. I feel so classy in this, and not in a kind of chic, crisp white shirt way, in a kind of lady, like floral tea dress kind of way. That's what it makes me feel like. Very, very feminine in like a quite a classic, almost Laura Ashley style, you know. Absolutely love this perfume so much. So I'm going to read you what it says on the actual Elizabeth Arden website. And it says the notes are Sicilian orange, peach nectar sorbet, damask plum, star magnolia in the mid, radiant wisteria, and Madagascar orchid, addictive sandalwood, fluid skin musk, and a golden amber whisper in the base. And it says Mediterranean captures the ease and spirit of pure natural beauty of Capri, Italy, celebrating sunshine, clear blue skies, warm ocean breeze, sensual florals combined with creamy woods to reflect the whispering waters and rich textures of the Mediterranean. And that's exactly what I get from this. I just love it so much. But then also, I would say, like, I was whinging about the Bridgerton perfume from Lush not having wisteria, because obviously the Bridgerton's house is just covered in wisteria. But this is like a Bridgerton smell to me, this one, even though it's like also got that kind of slight Italian feel. I think you could easily argue this is also like a beautiful kind of quite a British floral smell as well. It's just so glorious, like it's so lush. I definitely do get just a tiny hint of like an oceany smell here. And I don't know whether that's like my imagination, but my husband, when he first smelt this, before he knew anything about it, he said that it reminded him of like the sea. Mm. It is fruity in an absolutely gorgeous way. It's got a lovely kind of watery plum note, a beautiful watery, like kind of peachy, like it says, like sorbet, lovely, lovely fruitiness. But then it's got beautiful purple, powdery wisteria, and it's perfectly sweet. I just obsessed, and it's so easy to wear. It's so comfortable. I just love it. Yeah, I wore this on Friday. I resprayed it a couple of times. I didn't want to change when I got back later in the evening. I actually had dinner with a friend. And that's when I went out and smelt some things while I was waiting for her to arrive for dinner, because we were in Stratford. So I smelt a couple of things I'll talk about at the end. So this is a new bottle in my collection. I have talked about this before, and I had a sample. And at the time I was like, I'd be really happy like if someone bought this for me. I made that my Mon Guerlain video in I can't remember when I actually filmed it, but it was definitely when it was cold. So I wore my sample of Sparkling Bouquet early, like, well, maybe when did I wear it? I can't remember. Probably at the weekend. Yeah, so I must have worn it at the weekend because I was so in love with it at the weekend, especially when I was ill, that I just went on and immediately ordered a bottle that I could find for cheap on eBay. Yeah, okay. Oh my goodness. This is Mon Guerlain Sparkling Bouquet. So this is actually still available. It's one of the few that they still actually sell. And I think I've seen a couple of people say that they really don't like this. I don't know that I've ever really seen this reviewed outside of my own review. And people saying Sparkling Bouquet is really nice. It's normally like, don't bother with it. And I just massively disagree. I think this is such a pretty perfume. It's like, it's definitely got the spirit of Mon Guerlain. You can smell that it's a Mon Guerlain, which I think with a couple of the flankers that I tried, they just sort of don't have the backbone of Mon Guerlain. They don't have that same profile anywhere in them. This one really does. I can still smell the lavender and I can still smell a bit of that actual Mon Guerlain smell. But it doesn't have some of the darker notes, so it doesn't have the patchouli and it doesn't have the licorice, but it has a really, really juicy and strong pear note in this. And honestly, as much as I talk about certain notes that I really love, I do think that pear might be one of my favourite notes in perfume because I now have quite a few pear perfumes, and I think what I fall in love with often is the pear note. I really love a good pear note, and as long as it's not like overwhelmed or like, I mean, I've smelt some that have got a lot of patchouli in again, and that's an absolute no-no for me. But I love my perfumes with pear in. I find them very addictive. I found this one super addictive and really easy to wear. So the notes are pear, bergamot, and mandarin orange in the top, lavender, peony, and jasmine sambac in the mid, and base notes of Tahitian, vanilla, white musk, and sandalwood. Thank goodness the jasmine sambac in here does not overwhelm this perfume, which I found with a couple of the Mon Guerlain flankers. It was just like way too much jasmine. I find the peony in this to smell a little bit like a delicate pink rose, and I really, as if you watch me a lot, you'll know that I really struggle often with peony. I find it screechy and sharp, and it's normally a floral that I really don't like. I think I only have one peony perfume, but this one really does smell a bit like a rose and pear perfume to me, and it does also remind me a little bit of Hedonist rose that I had a travel size of, but I had to get rid of that because it had that aroma chemical in that's got that tarry smell to me. But before I could smell that, all I could really get from that perfume was a sort of white wine and sweet, fruity, pretty, delicate pink rose. And I don't get the wine from this because this is much more soapy. When you first spray it, it almost smells like there's aldehydes in it. It's so soapy at first, but then it just dries down into this gorgeous pear perfume with that hint of a kind of pink floral and a hint of lavender, just enough vanilla to make it kind of slightly sweetened and creamy, and still have that lavender vanilla smell that you get with the original Mon Guerlain. And then a white musk that thankfully isn't screechy. It's just so pretty, and in warm weather this really was perfect. That's why I went from having a sample that I was like, oh, I like this one, I think it's really good. It kind of smells how I would have imagined an EDT of Mon Guerlain smelling. But then when I tried it in warmer weather, absolutely loved it. I think this is so pretty, and so the three I've got three Mon Guerlains now, and they are the ones that they still sell. So I've got Sparkling Bouquet, the original, and the Intense, and those are the ones that are still available to buy from Guerlain. But I got this on eBay for £40, I think, and this is a 50ml bottle, and normally you're looking at £40 for a 30ml bottle. So I was super chuffed that I could get hold of that. I really recommend it. I think it's so comforting and so pretty, but really nice in warm weather. Super excited to have that, to be honest. Okay, so on the Monday when I went into work, on my half day, I knew I was feeling rough, but actually I had a second round interview to do on on Monday morning. So I just went in. I was like, I have to go in, and I did my best, and then I just had to come home. But I wore this. Oh my God. It was a beautiful spring-like day. Okay, it's not going to be interesting for you to just sit here and listen to me sniff this, but I've loved this for so many years. This is my bottle of Forever and Ever Dior by Dior. This is the current form. Well, I mean, I've had this for a really long time. If they've rejigged this in any way, then I don't know. But these are the same bottles, I believe, that you can get now. I think I probably got this in like, when did I get this? I've had it for at least 10 years, I think. I don't know. You can see it's like normally a special occasion perfume for me, but nowadays, because I have so many perfumes, in springtime I just want to wear this. It's honestly so pretty. So for Forever and Ever Dior, they only list notes of freesia, jasmine and tincture of rose. But this has definitely got more going on. There's definitely a musk. I think there's like almond blossom. Have a feeling there's nutmeg in the original version of this. And I don't think that this smells so different to the original that they've actually only got 3 notes. I think they only just tell you about 3 notes. That seems to be a thing now. I feel like back in the day they told you every single note that was in there or everything they intended, you know? And now they're just like, oh, it's just a couple of things. But either way, this one just smells like delicious spring flowers. It's just, I think, one of my most spring-like perfumes. I've smelled... Let's see, what are my most spring-like perfumes? I've fallen in love with Diptyque Eau Freesia. That is stunning. Super spring-like. I have a definite thing for Freesia because actually, thinking about it, the other one that I love is... Starfruit and White Flowers, which I'm sure has freesia in it, from Aqua Colonia range. And the thing I smelt from that really, that smelt like that really recently, is Lanvin Marry Me. And that, honestly, I mean, that's freesia as well. Freesia and jasmine. Oh my God. There's just so pretty, delicate, ethereal florals. Gorgeous. I fully intend to always have Forever and Ever Dior. As you can see, I'm taking my time. I mean, this is a 100ml bottle, so I have actually got a decent dent in that. And I also have a tiny little exact miniature of this that I think when I bought this, it came with it. So yeah, that one's nearly empty as well. So I have actually worn this quite a lot compared to some of my perfumes. But like I said, I've had it for a really long time. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, on one of my at-home feeling sorry for myself days when it was also quite windy and cold and weird, just Musk from Mayfair. This is just one of my absolute lovely golden musk cheapies, which I'm sorry to say seems to be, from what people have said, like pretty impossible to get outside of the UK. I guess if you can't get hold of this, I would advise to get Jovan Musk, probably the closest. If you can get Jovan Gold Musk, probably even better. But yeah, it's just a really cosy, comforting, sweet, slightly powdery, very, very pretty, warm musk. It smells pretty strong and vintage at first, and then it dries down and gets super, super cozy and comfy and lovely. And I just wore this because I felt rough and I was basically wrapped up in bed, being a bit miserable. So this is exactly the right kind of thing to bring me some comfort and make me feel nice. So the notes here are coriander, bergamot, lily of the valley in the top, rose, iris and jasmine in the mid, and then the base is musk, sandalwood and cedar. And I think it's the iris and the slight kind of warm spicy thing coming from the coriander that makes this so pretty. I do get like this lovely powdery, soft, slight baby powdery vibe from this one. It's just lovely. It's just really pretty musk, really nice. Okay, so now let's do some let's do the classics that I was just living in because I didn't lose my sense of smell, thankfully, but I just needed comfort. I needed cozy comfort. So Chill Out from Oriflame. This is it is quite similar to Mon Guerlain. It is that kind of smell. It's in that same wheelhouse profile wise, but it's stronger in the lavender and it's less tonka. It's more on the vanilla sweetness, but it's not like overwhelmingly sweet because there's so much lavender in this. And then there's like a woody note because I think it's they only give you lavender, vanilla, and cedar for Chill Out. It's fresher, it's lighter, it's not as creamy as Mon Guerlain, but it is that kind of smell. And this is the one I wear to bed quite a lot, and I'm just wearing it throughout the day. Perfect level of lavender, perfect level of sweetness. It's got it's slightly more unisex maybe than Mon Guerlain, and it's supposed to be unisex, this one, but I'm obsessed. I think I got it for like under a tenner when I bought it. You don't seem to be able to get this from Notino or that's where I got it from, or actual Oriflame anymore. So I'm assuming, sadly, it's discontinued. But you can get it on eBay easily enough, and I will definitely be getting another bottle because, as you can see, I mean, I bought this one while I've been doing this channel, so this is probably one of my most used perfumes since I started this channel. All right, and then another lavender. I mean, you know, I say I'm better. I am going to have to edit the hell out of this. There's going to be a lot of stuff taken out of this video because I do keep coughing. Ugh, it's just, honestly, this cough is hideous. Absolutely lush. I love this. I'm so glad I took a chance on this one. And I'm already like, oh, okay. I wonder how long this will last me. I'm going to have to get a big version at some point. So I'm keeping an eye out for if I can find like a good sale or like a partial bottle or something. This is J'Ose by Eisenberg, and this is another lavender perfume, and it's a friggin' delicious lavender perfume. I am in love with it. Okay, let's have a look. I'm going to read you the notes that it has on the box for this one. So this says top notes of bergamot, lemon, mint and jasmine, heart notes of lavender, wormwood and coffee mocha. Base notes patchouli, sandalwood, moss, tonka bean, vanilla, amber and musks. I don't find this is very strong in the patchouli. Wormwood sometimes gives me a headache. It certainly does in like sharper perfumes. But it's just not headache inducing at all, this one. This is even easier to wear for me than Mon Guerlain, and I find that really, really easy. Like, I find J'Ose, I found it so easy to wear, and I just love the smell so much. So when you first spray it, I don't get loads of jasmine here. I don't actually get lots of bergamot and lemon. I do get a slight green mintiness, but it's really faint to me, the mint. But as I've said before when I've talked about this, I really like mint notes. I don't find it irritating, so it might be something that if you don't like mint, you might not like this. It might smell strong to you. Personally, I don't get loads of mint. What I do get, definitely, is a kind of milkiness. You know what? This smells the way that I wanted Coffee Break to smell. Coffee Break to me is quite floral, smells a bit like slightly body lotiony. And the coffee in there I find slightly more chocolatey. I do like Coffee Break. And I have a perfume from Vera Wang called Lavender and Tuberose that is very similar to Coffee Break. I think they smell super, super similar. They're both quite floral and really creamy. But this one's even feels even more creamy in a less soapy way. This one doesn't smell soapy to me. I love this. I love it. I couldn't get enough of wearing it. I'm super happy I bought it. I think that is definitely like a real favourite now. This is another one I wear when I need comfort or when I want to smell really clean. This is Eau Ressourcante. Sorry to any French speakers, you know, my native tongue is very British and therefore I'm rubbish at pronouncing other languages. But this is what I call the blue Clarins treatment fragrance. And treatment fragrance is right for this. I just love this perfume. I've said before, this is the one that my auntie wears, and I think she's retired now actually, but she did work in an old people's home for a long time. So she did kind of care where she couldn't wear strong perfumes. But yeah, it's really, really pretty. This is technically, I think, iris, but I always think it has a slight violety smell myself. And genuinely, people say this doesn't last, But I can smell this on my skin all day. My husband always compliments me when I wear this. He obviously thinks this smells nice, but he does tend to quite like clean perfumes, you know, like I think he quite likes it when I smell clean and kind of cozy. And I do think this one, it's kind of slightly fresh. It's definitely got something beautifully cozy about the dry down of this. When I first put it on, it's a hardcore lemon and basil. That's what's in the top notes. A slightly astringent, really like woo. And then it dries down and it's iris in the mid and then cedar and benzoin in the base. And benzoin is a beautiful, warm, lovely scent. I really like benzoin. But yeah, weirdly, it smells a bit violety to me. Iris as well, for sure. Ugh. Yeah, I just think it's lovely, but I can genuinely smell this on my skin all day when I wear it. It doesn't project loads, and like obviously my husband gets in close quarters to me, so it's not like he can smell me coming a mile away when I'm wearing it. But if he gives me a hug, he'll be like, "Oh, you smell nice." It's just so pretty and it's so cozy and comforting. Well, cozy isn't really the right word. It's cozy in that it's very comfortable to wear and it feels soothing and calming, but it's not like a particularly warm smell, because I think having the lemon, basil and iris really cools down the cedar and the benzoin here. But it's just so pretty. It's a really nice perfume. I really, really highly recommend it. It's actually not particularly expensive to get hold of in perfume form. I think compared to a lot of other perfumes, it's relatively, like, I think it would be described as affordable. It's not a cheapie, but it's affordable. But again, like, I find these really easy to get on eBay. I got mine on eBay. It's just super pretty. And I think I got this on eBay new, and I think I got it for about 20 quid. This is not their sprayer bottles. This is a 30ml splash bottle, and I've just put a little bit into a spray bottle because I prefer spray myself. But yeah, I think it's gorgeous. I really, really like it. I think it's really, really nice. And then let's see, the last actual thing I was wearing was another lavender. Sorry guys, by the time the lavender comes out on Wednesday, you're going to be like, oh, I'm bored of it. I've already seen them all. My little Yardley, my tiny baby Yardley. This is Yardley Lavender Contemporary Edition. I'm obsessed with this, and I'm definitely going to get a big bottle. In fact, I might get a big bottle sooner rather than later, because then this is so small I can take this as my little travel one. Perfect for bedtime. It honestly, to me, smells like a slightly sweetened lavender perfume with a chamomile tea in there. It's just so soothing and easygoing, and it's not so sweet that, like, this is the one for warmer weather. If you're going to kind of look at my collection, Chill Out is for bedtime, colder weather, and Yardley Lavender is for warmer weather. So the notes in English Lavender by Yardley are clary, sage and bergamot in the top, middle notes lavender, violet, chamomile, eucalyptus, geranium and jasmine, base notes woodsy notes, patchouli and vanilla. And honestly, I mainly get lavender and chamomile here. Definitely a bit of sage, maybe a hint of eucalyptus, but mainly lavender, chamomile. And I've said before, the chamomile, when you first spray this, you're like, woof, classic lavender. And then you get woof, ooh, a bit of an indolic kind of urine smell from that chamomile. Almost instantly, then that will go away. And it is just this gorgeous, slightly transparent, gentle, soothing, calming, tea-like scent, but with lavender and chamomile. I just love it. I'm so glad I got the little set. I will make a video soon of the Yardley stuff that I got. I just haven't got around to it yet, but it's on my list. And because they're lighter perfumes, I'm like, I don't need to be trying to do those in cooler weather. So I've got those kind of put by so I can do them in the coming months. But this is definitely my favourite from all of them. And I've got like maybe 12 to talk about. This is my favourite. I love it. You can get in the UK on Amazon, I think the 50ml bottle's like £8 or something, £7 or £8. But I'm probably going to get the 125ml of this one, like, because I think I'm going to use this next to my bed just like all the time. Obsessed. I just love it. So while I was in Stratford, I went to, is it called Beauty Bay? or Beauty Base, I think it's called, and they have a fabulous selection of perfumes. They do have some higher end designers, but they've got a lot of celeb stuff and a lot of affordable stuff. They've got a whole section of Middle Eastern. I did go by and try and smell something from the Middle Eastern section. What was it? I can't even remember what it was, unfortunately, but it didn't. None of them really made an impression on me. But also, it was really busy in that section, and there were so many bottles, and I had no idea what anything was, and I was just massively overwhelmed. And I only had a short period of time, so I mainly was looking at stuff and smelling stuff that I absolutely knew that I wanted to know how it smelled. So I'm trying to remember all the stuff I smelt. I definitely had a quick smell of Estee Lauder Beautiful, because I've wondered about that one for a while. That one was quite indolic to me, like an indolic yellow happy floral, but it's just not one that I need. I smell Arpège by Lanvin, which definitely has that classic old school. It's very similar to Chanel No. 5, to be honest. So if you like Chanel No. 5, Arpège is a much more affordable version. And Marilyn Monroe used to wear that one. She used to wear Chanel No. 5 as well, but she definitely wore Arpège. But again, it has that kind of... I get a lot of funk from it. I found it very, very funky, indolic, and... yeah, it was just too much for me. Just too much for me. I will stick with my Lemon, which is my coaty kind of appropriation of that smell. That one, it still has a little bit of the old indoles in the top. It does smell a bit pea-like at first, but it's like slightly more rose forward and a bit more soapy and a bit more easy going, you know. It's not so hardcore as Arpège and Chanel No. 5. And then there were 3 that I really actually properly tried to make a note of what I was thinking. So Eilish No. 2 by Billie Eilish. So I'd smelt the first one. It's not one I ever wanted to own. The first one reminded me of a more fruity, more floral version of my Al Nuaim Chocolate Musk. I think that smells very similar to the base of that first Billie Eilish. This second one, I wanted to smell it because it's been compared to Sarah Jessica Parker's Stash. Now, I didn't test this on my skin, so it might be totally different on the skin. But on card and in the air, it really smelled like a men's cologne to me. Like, I didn't get Stash from it at all. Stash, you definitely could argue, because it's so, like, wood forward, that one is slightly on the masculine side. But I think I'm really comfortable wearing Stash, and I am not normally comfortable wearing anything that's like properly masculine. And so I do feel like Stash is very unisex. I think it's got a lovely balance to it, where either way, you know, it's like perfectly in the middle. Eilish No. 2, I just found very aftershaving. It really smelled like a men's cologne. So the notes are bergamot and apple blossom in the top. Mid notes are black pepper, papyrus and poppy. The base notes are Palo Santo, ebony and vanilla. So very, very woody, quite a dark scent. Yeah, it just smelled like a woody men's perfume to me. So I imagine there's some magic that might happen on the skin, but I was already wearing a perfume. I had Mediterranean on. I didn't want to put anything else on at all to change that smell, because I love that smell, and I was meeting someone, so I didn't want to risk putting something on that I might hate or might like overwhelm me or anything like that, or her, obviously. Yeah, I'm just not really keen on Eilish No. 2 from what I could smell, but yeah, let me know if any of you guys have it, so that yeah, tell me if it's different on the skin, or how you felt about it if you did have it or you've tried it. I tried Givenchy Ange Eau Demon Le Secret. I've been looking at that one for ages. So the reason I was looking at Ange Eau Demon Le Secret, partly, I really like these bottles. I think they're cute, and also it's a tea perfume, so I was bound to be looking at it at some point, and I was really happy to see it there. I was like, oh, I'll try that. So Angel Demon Le Secret, top notes, tea leaf, cranberry, lemon, grapefruit, orange. Mid notes, jasmine, sambac, peony, water lily, rose, hedione. Base notes, white musk, white woods, patchouli, amberwood and vanilla. And my first thought when I sprayed this was that it really reminded me of Still by Jennifer Lopez. I don't like it as much as Still. This is especially when it dries down, you get much more fruitiness than you do with still. Yeah, because there's that cranberry and the grapefruit, lemon and orange, so it's more citrusy and it's more cranberry. And in still, the main fruit that I get from that is like a green apple note. Um, yeah, the cranberry here kind of changes up how this smells in the dry down, but it definitely does still smell a bit like still. And it's got the vibe of like a green tea flanker, you know? It's super pretty, really nice, very wearable. It's definitely not one that I need because I have amazing tea perfumes already, and this isn't so different that I'd need it. But if you see this for a bargain, it's a super nice perfume. I think it's really nice. There was nothing in it that I found shocking. It hasn't got any, like, I'm not getting like loads of aroma chemicals from this. Well, I mean, again, I didn't try it on my skin, but on card, it smells like pretty chill to me. Yeah, it's just a really pretty tea perfume. It's like a fruity tea perfume. Perfectly sweet, not too sharp and not too sweet in either way, you know, it's nice. And then we have the newest, I think it's the newest, let me check. Yeah, 2024. The newest Signorina by Salvatore Ferragamo. It's called Signorina Unico and it's in like an orange bottle. I really like this bottle, actually. Well, no, that's not true. I don't like the bottle. I don't like any of the Signorina bottles. I think they look super tacky. But I really like the colour of this bottle. I think it's a really happy colour. And it's quite a happy perfume, actually. So my experience with the Signorina perfumes is that they either give me a headache, I find them screechy, they all have some kind of aroma chemical in that bothers me. But also, like, normally there's something in them. Like, so the original Signorina, I really appreciate the creaminess of that. I think it's really pretty. But the patchouli and the pink pepper is massively overwhelming on my skin in that particular perfume. And then the EDT version, which I thought was really a really pretty and interesting rose perfume, that one just goes super screechy on me. It like gives me a headache. There's just that, it's got that, I don't know if it's a musk or what, but it's got something really sharp in it. It's probably ambroxan, to be fair. And then let's see, the Rebel one, that had something in it that I found really irritating as well, probably another aroma chemical. I smelt the yellow one when I was in beauty care last year, and that I just found super boring. This one's really pretty. I think this is a good one. I mean, it does have ambroxan in it, so there's still something in here that I'm finding a bit irritating, so I'm not sure that I'd want to try this on my skin, but it's pretty, this one. So I'll read you the notes, but I'm getting something specific from this that's not listed, so it's interesting. So it's mandarin orange, sea notes, sugarcane and bergamot in the top. Middle notes of violet, cashmere wood, blackcurrant and azalea. And then the base notes, tiramisu, ambroxan, vanilla, tonka bean and patchouli. And this actually does have some crossovers with the tiramisu perfume I was talking about in my video, I think this week actually. Did I just put them up? The Tutto Tondo tiramisu. This definitely has some crossovers, but it has the mandarin and bergamot blackcurrant rather than the red berries that are in that one. So there's a fruitiness here, but it almost smells like some kind of peachy coconut pudding or something to me, like something creamy. I'm not really getting particularly tiramisu, but I'm getting some kind of creaminess in the base. It's got a nice kind of dessert creaminess to it. But yeah, weirdly, it's more like apricot-y peachy smell here than bergamot and orange to me. And something in here is smelling coconutty to me. I don't know if that's like the tonka bean mixed with some of these other notes, but perfectly pretty. Definitely got some crossovers going on, I feel, with the Tutto Tondo perfume. I'm not getting much patchouli here, thankfully. And I think as far as ambroxan goes, this isn't like ridiculously strong in the ambroxan compared to some where I smell it and I'm like, whoa, it just becomes more and more sharp. This is sweet enough that I think it's not like super strong in the ambroxan. I'm not getting that impression anyway, but let's have a look at what this is compared to. One called See-Through that I've never smelt. Oh, interesting. Reminiscence Rem Cocoa. And I think that is a coconut perfume. Juliet Has a Gun. Is that Sunny Side Up or what's that called? Oh, Vanilla Vibes. Interesting. What's in this one? I feel like I've smelt I had a Juliet Has a Gun thing before I had this channel. There's no coconut in that one. That's salt, vanilla, and orchid, tonka bean, benzoin. It definitely has a creamy warmth to it. I think, yeah, I actually think that Signorina Unica is much more interesting than the one that they released before, the yellow one. Yeah, I think this one's actually quite pretty. If you like kind of creamy, fruity, kind of summery perfumes, I think you might really like this. Oh, the last one that I smelled, the yellow one, was called Signorina Libera, I think it's called. I'm just going to have a quick look to see. See, they've all got like ambroxan in, man. They're just a bit... It smelled like something else when I smelled it, so I'm just going to have a look and see what that other one was. Oh, God is a Woman it's compared to. Just trying to see if there's anything here. Oh, the Versace Dylan, the purple one, Dylan Purple. Yeah, a bit of a vibe of that. Yeah. Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent. Yeah, I thought the yellow one was a bit boring, but this new one, I think this is actually quite a nice one. I really like the colour of the bottle. It's got a nice kind of ever so slightly gourmand smell. And it's not too sweet, but it's not too sharp. It's like nothing too much of anything. It would be a really nice kind of gift for someone who liked really girly perfumes. If you like Ariana Grande kind of perfumes, then I think you'd love this. Yeah, I think that one's kind of cute. So yeah, both that one or Angel Demon Le Secret, they were both pretty nice, I think. So yeah. All right, I've coughed my way through this, and now I'm going to have a big drink and rest my my poor, absolutely cheese grater style throat. Let me know what you've been wearing this week. Let me know if you have any of these. Let me know if any of you have tried or have Sparkling Bouquet and what you think, because I feel like I'm out here on my own really loving this perfume and everyone else is like, I don't like Sparkling Bouquet, it's rubbish. But I think it's really, really pretty myself. But let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like my videos, please do consider subscribing. I was thinking... I've got quite a few subscribers now. It's amazing. But I was thinking if I get to up to 2,000, then maybe I'll do like a Q&A. You guys can send me in some questions and I can try and think of an interesting way to do the video and try and put something in it so it's not too boring to watch. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a lovely week. Bye.